the more you start learning about it is like there's electromagnetic frequencies everywhere. And so our body is in tune to this as well. Like the Earth as a planet kind of has a resting state of electromagnetic frequencies that come around it.
So
And
what does
again,
that
what
mean?
happens?
It emits like a pulse, a frequency that's like a set level.
Yeah. So, I mean, so just Earth as a physical structure has, like 11 different layers, a solid iron core, different proportions of like temperatures and minerals moving past each other in these fluid layers. So there's like a lot going on underneath the crust of the surface that like we don't see a whole lot. And so anytime you get movement between different materials at different temperatures and everything like that, there starts to be electric potentials that form. There's anytime you have electricity moving, you have magnetism that comes along with that. So again, just the world and the physical structures around us, the interaction between all those different things, it ends up like Earth has a magnetic field, right? Us as human beings, our bodies and our nervous systems operate over bioelectric circuits. Like we're literally sending electric signals over our nerves that's being received on another side, and that's how our body's transmitting information. Like again, we don't really talk about it like that, but we're highly reliant on electromagnetic signals and electromagnetic frequencies to live. Like that's like if your body can't send if your brain can't send an electromagnetic signal down the spinal cord, like you're dead. Like that's literally when you're at the hospital, they're trying to see, is this person alive? They're looking at your electromagnetic frequencies in your brain and how your brain's communicating with itself. So, not to give like a full physics lesson, but again, like electricity, magnetism are all really interconnected with how our bodies work as human beings. And so, and again, just like again with the Earth has its own magnetic field, it has its own electromagnetic currencies and pulses. So we're built to have this back and forth interaction. And what they're finding again is that our bodies have way more of an ability to pick up electromagnetic frequencies than we ever knew. And it makes sense that this is new because this isn't like light, like you just turn on, it's a lot less tangible because it is like these invisible frequencies that we can't see with our naked eye. So what caught me off guard with this conversation is, again, become much more of a problem, even in like the past 15, 20 years with how much we're bombarded with artificial electromagnetic frequencies. So your Wi-Fi in your house, your cell phone, the cell phone towers, like the 5G, like everything that's coming out, they're estimating like 10,000 times more powerful electromagnetic frequencies flying through the air than they ever used to be. And that's exactly what like your Wi-Fi box does. It takes a little bit of electricity and transforms it into this big electromagnetic signal so that all your devices can reach it and you can get it at every single corner of your house. Or the cell phone tower that's 3 miles away can throw off an electromagnetic signal that's so powerful that it blows through those 3 miles and it goes through the brick wall of your house and it gets to your phone as you're sitting right there. Like we don't really think about it, but it's amazing what's actually happening. Like it's a very cool idea. And it's like, if you just kind of look at what humanity has done, it really does feel like science fiction sometimes. Like if you look at the science behind what's happening. So like it or not, there is invisible frequencies and wavelengths flying back and forth. And it's the only reason that your phone works without a cord being plugged into it. And I never thought about it. That's just like cool Wi-Fi. Cool. Like it's a signal. It's a physical signal that's coming either from your box or cell phone tower or whatever. And these are high frequency, really powerful signals that you're not finding. Like if we turned off all those electronics, like these are not frequencies that we see naturally on planet Earth. And again, they're like tens of thousands of times higher. And, so every time I see a commercial, like we got more towers coming out that's going to be 10G. And it's like, that's a stronger signal and it allows for the transfer of more information more quickly. So it makes total sense from a technological perspective, but nobody up until this point, like I'd say just in the past couple of years, people are finally asking the question like, hey, what does that actually mean for us as human beings and our health and our bodies? And the answer is it's pretty stressful actually. So even as something as simple as like your Wi-Fi coming from your box in your house, that intensity of signal confuses what's called a calcium gate channel in your cells. And pretty much every cell in your body has these calcium gate channels. So if I was picture our cell as a circle, we got these little mini gates that look certain things in and out, and it's called the semi-permeable membrane. So it's how you're, it's like there's kind of like a bouncer for different types of things that your cell can either let in or out. So when EMF signal from like a Wi-Fi box comes and blasts towards your body, your cells start throwing open these calcium gates. So all of a sudden we have this huge imbalance of calcium in the cell versus out of the cell. And then your body's smart. It's trying to do whatever it can to always be in balance and get back to that nice balanced state as quick as it can. So what it does is it starts throwing out other minerals to try to counterbalance. So a ton of people are like magnesium depleted. And again, everyone's like, oh, you need to take more magnesium. You need to take more magnesium. You're magnesium depleted. And for a lot of people, that is very true. And, some of the things that people say, like in terms of like the soil quality not being as good, like I really believe that's true as well. So I'm not saying it's not important to like supplement certain minerals and everything, but I also think that there's a flip side of that equation. I think a ton of people are bleeding out minerals out of their cells on a consistent basis because we're just in this bath of high frequency electromagnetic frequencies. And the body is like literally just hanging out for dear life, trying to do the best that it can to counterbalance this environment that it wasn't built for. Like, again, if you look over the whole span of humanity, like we're in just such a amazing technical advancement just over even like the past 15, 20 years. Like the human body is having to deal with things that it has never had to in the history of humanity. And so again, we just kind of think of like, oh, this is life, but we've introduced a lot of things that the human body was never really built for. And so I think a lot of people are finding themselves in a state where it's like, yeah, my body's not healing. Like I feel like crap all the time. I can't really think of things that I enjoy doing because like I don't feel good kind of thing. And I think the biggest thing that we need to check moving forward is just what you described. I think the scary part is this becoming so normal. That's just like, yeah, that's kind of like the direction that we're moving it as humanity. So I love that. Like even you just like putting this podcast together and like getting the information out. Like I think it's really important that we keep having discussions as human beings and recognizing that if you feel like crap, like I know pretty much everyone else feels like crap, but that's not a normal state for humanity. Like there's a big difference between common and normal. And I do think that biophysics is one of the huge keys for that. So for artificial electromagnetic frequencies, that was probably the next big thing that kind of knocked my socks off. So we just started doing easy things like literally unplugging the Wi-Fi box at night. Because again, you're doing most of your resetting and healing at nighttime. So I think that focusing on nighttime is going to be, again, your biggest bang for your buck. And doesn't have to be super complicated. So yeah, we just started unplugging our Wi-Fi box at night. I noticed a difference after like a week of that about how I was feeling when I was waking up in the morning. It can be as easy as either having your phone on airplane mode or just not keeping it in the bedroom next to you. Like at least 5 feet away is the rule. If you can just not have it in the bedroom, like most people were just getting that EMF blast all night. The Wi-Fi is still going. The cell phone signal is still getting to your phone that's sitting right next to your head as you're sleeping in bed kind of thing. And yeah, it's like no wonder we all wake up feeling like we need 10 cups of coffee to start the day. It's like our calcium voltage gated channels have been bleeding all night. Like it tends to elevate cortisol when you're getting that really high frequency blast of electromagnetic frequencies. So same thing, like just how many of us are cortisol burnout or that adrenal fatigue. And then there's a laundry list that comes after that. Again, like the brain fog, the weight gain, there's so many things that come up with that. And then you feel like you're just fighting uphill with everything that you're trying to do.
Yeah.